Our next speaker is Milind Kulkarni, Chief Manager, Business Development, Factory Automation, Siemens. He started his career in Siemens at their Nashik factory after completing his engineering. He was involved in various functions like automation and drive systems testing, product testing, quality planning, etc. Later, he moved to the divisional head office, and subsequent to this, he took over the role as product manager in automation business. After a brief stint in the pharma solutions business, he was given the role as the head of business development for the factory automation in India. Milind has authored many technical articles and has represented Siemens in various forums like AIA, CII, etc. Milind, the stage is all yours.
Since yesterday, we have been hearing different innovative and game-changing technologies which are driving the industry today. All of us, we have also heard about a term called Industry 4.0 or IoT or Make in India. This all means the same thing, going towards digital enterprise. And this is a journey by itself, because in developing countries like India and even in developed countries in Europe and US also, if you see, the deployment of automation onto the shop floor is not so homogeneous, is not so unified. We still have the approach of automation by islands, and that is how this journey from what automation that exists today to the digital enterprise is kind of an evolution. However, the framework is now known. Where we have to reach, the destination is clear. And today in my speech, I will talk about some ideas about how integrated plant setup and approach towards engineering of such solutions would help improving operational excellence, and in turn we can graduate towards digital enterprise. Friends, to put it simple, when we say digitalization, naturally something strikes us called PLM, Product Lifecycle Management, which essentially starts with virtual design of the product, then virtual design of the production process to manufacture that product, and then from there we come down to the shop floor automation. So there has to be a clear link between the virtual world and the real world on the plant floor. And this is the first motive, and to establish this link solidly and concretely, one has to have integrated automation as a concept onto the plant floor. On other hand, it also helps in a way, because if the complete plant is automated, which is with integrated kind of a setup. Now, I'm repeatedly using this word integrated automation. What does that mean will come in my next slides, but just introducing the topic to all of you. When we have the integrated plant setup, then from there we can get one distinct benefit, that is homogeneous or common database. Now, this database is not only common to automation components, but it is also common to automation stages into the manufacturing. This means the complete manufacturing process which is automated will have a common database. This results into key data acquisition in a very systematic and simplified manner. Any manufacturer today is facing two challenges. One is flexibility in manufacturing. He wants to have extremely flexible manufacturing setup. And two, complete transparency to the production, complete transparency to the data from the shop floor. Now, when we say data from the shop floor, I would categorize this into three key categories. First is production data, which is the ultimate requirement for any manufacturer. But that's not enough. He also needs, besides production data, the production process data and even product data also for the purpose of traceability and tracking. This may or may not be applicable to every segment of industry due to the framework of regulations today, but eventually this will come up. Traceability and tracking is something which will be an essential part out of the whole game of automation in future. Now, to have this kind of setup in manufacturing, you definitely have two requirements in the mind. The flexibility, as I mentioned, and improvement, consistent improvement into productivity. However, this should be achieved considering pressures on the cost. One need not spend or invest funds extravagantly to achieve this. So, optimization of the funds or investments to achieve this, and the flexibility is primarily driven by the pressure from competition. Brand A produces something with some special advertisement campaign which is becoming hit, popular, the demand increases. Brand B has to counteract that by bringing some different counter argumentation, some different gimmick, advertise it that way and try to pull the demand on their side. This means on your plant floor, your demands for manufacturing product A or B or C will keep changing very dynamically. This means you need to have a setup for production which is highly flexible to cater to the fluctuating demands from the market. Ultimately, the automation that you deploy should be easy to handle. Ease of handling, be it engineering, be it commissioning or maintenance. At any of this phase or life cycle of your automation solution, ease of handling is most critical thing. At improved efficiency of working and reduced investments. Faster time to market is also another key driver, friends, because if you need flexible manufacturing setup to bring the change in the setup from producing product A to product B, this time should be minuscule. One cannot say that I will change from this to that and start producing now the new product, but give me 1 month or 2 months. Nobody will like that kind of manufacturing setup. So you need to have kind of intelligence in automation which can cater to such quick time to market as a key requirement. So, the main requirements to realize this is you need to have efficient engineering platform to do engineering of your automation solutions, and efficiency even at maintenance level and during expansion phases. Because as the demands keep increasing, maybe at a particular time the complete capacity is utilized and you need to add on to the capacity by way of expansion. And this also should happen quickly with least additional engineering efforts. And that is where having chosen right in the beginning scalable platform for doing the automation remains the key. Now, what are the key contributors which can help making decision about how my automation solution should be to gear up towards digitalization? Openness and standards. Whatever automation platform that I choose should be open enough to communicate with different automation components, because no manufacturer will essentially have complete automation done from one supplier. No homogeneous automation solutions will exist in future. It will be always heterogeneous. And if that is going to be the situation, then connectivity or interconnectivity between different vendors also becomes a very crucial parameter here. That is why openness and standards to do the interfacing, which will help easy integration amongst the vendors. Scalability and modularity, your solution should be modular and scalable. Modular will help you to not make your investments redundant. You can expand modularly and scale the system up. High plant availability is again the key. You need to have minimum possible downtime so that your uptime of the plant is higher, resulting into high plant availability. Now this all can be achieved if you have a complete integration horizontally and vertically in your plant, and this is exactly what I meant by totally integrated automation. Compatibility remains yet another important factor here, because what you choose today should be compatible to what you want to change tomorrow, and this upward compatibility should be considered while making decision on investments. In many cases, particularly when you come to SMEs, small and medium scale enterprise, the decisions are very price driven. And they don't realize while making such decisions that I make some investments and save some little money today, but tomorrow when I want to upscale or expand, then what I have used is of no use, and it becomes redundant, and I have to make the complete investments all over again. This is not a good game. It is worthwhile thinking and spending little more even today, so that tomorrow, essentially and surely, your today's investment doesn't go down to drain. And all this will be, of course, driven by innovative products. Unless you choose the right innovative products to enable such kind of integrated manufacturing setup, you won't achieve your dream towards digital enterprise. This is a little bit in details, the same pyramid which I showed in the earlier slide. So within the automation solution, right from the field level, next is controller level, then SCADA and operator level, and at the top management information through MES. This all needs to be completely integrated horizontally as well as vertically. So horizontal integration is integration across all automation products, right from the field devices up to the SCADA, and then from SCADA to MES or and up to ERP. There's a lot of information on these slides in quite a bit of details, but instead of reading the slides, I would try to give the key messages which are in my mind about these slides. Openness and standards. You can see some open communication standards for Ethernet or for field communication that are mentioned here, like Profinet, Profibus. Then openness in communication can be realized through interfaces like OPC, Profibus, HART, ASI or IO-Link are another common interfaces predominantly used in the field. PLC open standards for the program configuration, the way programming blocks are written into the PLC. Compliant to the ISC 61131-1 standards for programming. Now, if all these aspects are supported by a particular product, then that becomes the right product for you to choose. So it remains modular and scalable. That's the whole message. Compatibility is also important, because today, for example, I can have a setup to automate some machine or several machines in my plant floor, and they are not islands of automation, they are integrated or interconnected. But tomorrow, due to the changed regulations and safety norms, I have to now incorporate machine safety in my machine. What do? If I choose a platform that is modular and scalable, then I can integrate the machine safety in the existing automation solution that is there. By delta engineering efforts, I can add on to the existing control algorithms and the scheme of operations, because there is no change in that. Only in addition to the existing thing, I have to add the machine safety parameters and features. So this is what I mean by modularity, and if we choose such compatible hardwares, which is modular, which is scalable up time to time based on the functional requirements, or migratable up, supports all international methodologies of programming, then I am choosing the right platform for hardware as well as for software. So the same is shown a bit in details here. The totally integrated automation, offering integration capabilities, openness and flexibility, finally meeting your business requirements. You get fast time to market, you get extremely good quality at the output with good productivity with optimized costs. And when we talk about costs, now it's high time we start talking about TCO, total cost of ownership, rather than talking about what I spent right now. So I need strong communication which is open. I need extremely integrated, strong diagnostic features provided by my automation platform. I need, when I talk about integrated automation, then automation has major components like PLC, HMI or SCADA, and motion or drives. Now it is needless to say that having said about need of integration of various machines in a plant, I definitely need integration of these key automation components. And this means essentially a natural demand that is placed is I need to have a common engineering platform which will enable me to make the application engineering for the complete solution from one common station, one common platform. Security and traceability I just mentioned. Tracing and tracking is going to be the next buzz. And security, of course, because as we are moving towards internet-based integration techniques, threat of security exists, and to mitigate that, you need to have adequate security measures provided and supported by your automation solutions. Okay. So it results into a lot of benefit because integration offers you data transparency across, which gives production transparency, and you achieve your key requirement of flexible production. So coming to the totally integrated automation software platform, a unique common software which has absolutely common database which helps saving on repetitive engineering efforts. Otherwise, in the conventional methodology, one does the programming and application engineering for PLC first, then HMI, then start cross mapping of which tags to be connected where. Same with the drives or motion technology. So it becomes a very cumbersome thing, and bringing a small change, you have to ensure that the change is reflected everywhere, wherever that particular tag is used. So cross-referencing becomes a crucial thing, and then bringing about a change means more time. With common engineering platform and with common database, this all is done on a mouse click. You change one tag at one place, it is effected at 100 locations or 1000 locations wherever it is used multiply. So it offers complete integration of solutions with reduced engineering time, with reusability of the libraries. One can integrate motion, one can have common database, one can integrate safety. This is nearly coming like a dream come true for the engineering people who are making application engineering for various automation solutions. It also suffices the demands from the maintenance or commissioning point of view. For example, common service tools with integrated system diagnostics. When you have a common automation solution, you have a common integrated platform throughout your plant, then sitting at one place, I should be able to know what is going wrong at which place in the plant. It can be done so much so that sitting at a central station through my engineering station, I can go and check in which machine, in which PLC, in which IO rack, in which module, which channel has become faulty. If so much information I can get at one place, I can rush the required technician with the right spare, go and change the module. You can imagine the time that is saved in the keeping up the plant. You can quickly localize the fault and take care of it. There are integrated variable trace functions supported in such tools which help you easy tuning and commissioning, like PID tuning or drive tuning. It can be very handy with such trace functionalities integrated. Security, of course, as I mentioned in my last slide, is important parameter and which has to be paid attention to. Teleservice and web server. This is another key now that is coming up, because plants may be remote, expertise may not be available in the plant to do the troubleshooting. So it should be feasible to access the plant remotely and get the same diagnostic features like if you are there in the plant. So it doesn't matter whether you are in plant or you are 100 kilometers away from the plant. You should be able to still access the health of your machines, your products, automation products inside the plant, and know what is going wrong here and direct uneducated people to make the corrections mechanically. This is possible. Web server is also key important thing, because business travel is a growing thing in the market today. All entrepreneurs, they are traveling a lot, and on the travel, on the move, if they want to access what is going to happen in their plant or what is happening at a particular time of our plant, they can access the web servers which are integrated inside the products just over smart tools like maybe your iOS phone or Android phone or a tablet or an iPad. You can just log in, authenticate yourself, go to that respective IP address, and then access the web server, know the basic diagnostic information, know basic production data, know basic product data which is already mapped into this web server, and your life is so easy. Although you are away from your plant, you are still connected all the time to your plant, thanks to the integration technology. So these are all the added values which are offered to our customers with such innovative products and the concepts of totally integrated automation. So vertical and horizontal integration along with integrated diagnostics. Safety integration is also possible and future-proof and scalable solution with complete integrated approach towards engineering. Helps improving engineering efficiencies, plant efficiencies with complete traceability and tracking. That's all from my side, friends. Thank you very much. These are my contact details.